Okay, I want to show you how I've been filtering the rust out of my pool. We fill our pool with our well water, and that means that it starts out with a lot of rust. And I didn't want to use a lot of chemicals this year to take the rust out because I tried that last year and that cost me a lot of money and it didn't really ever get the rust out. So this year I've just been filtering it with our filter. I'm going to show you how I clean that. Just kind of do that to get the bugs out of there. And I've also been using these socks, which are really cheap, from the Dollar Tree. They came in a pack with 4 white socks for $1. And I just keep rotating those and I clean them every day. And that, I just use this ring to put those on there. So let's see if I can do this. So I just fold the sock over the ring. Okay, so now I have that, and then I just put that back onto the outtake from the pump. And it takes a little bit of work because the sock is kind of thick. It doesn't go in there evenly sometimes. But that way all the water filters through and it catches the rust, it catches any of the tiny little bugs. And that's been working really well for me. So then I also have the filter, and you can see how rusty this is. This is really nothing compared to what it was the first time that I switched the filter right after we filled it. But that's still pretty rusty. And all I do with that is I rinse this with, I just have one of these like wands. It's made to wash your car or whatever, and I rinse this with that. Until I get as much out as I can. And then I also soak that. Once I get that all rinsed, I have a bucket here with clean water. And then I put some of this iron out in the water. And iron out isn't really made to put in swimming pools, so you shouldn't do that. But it's okay to wash the filters with it because I rinse those really well afterwards. So then once the filter is all cleaned, once I've rinsed out as much of the rust as I can, with this wand, it doesn't have to look perfect to do its job. So I get most of that out of there. Whoops, I'm about to spray my phone with the hose. But then I just soak that in the iron out for a little bit. This is a sock that I've had. I already rinsed this sock. And I'll put that in there too. And I leave that for, I don't know, sometimes I leave it overnight, sometimes I just leave it for a half hour or whatever while I'm doing something else. Like I'll go feed the chickens or something else and come back. And then I'll rinse those out really well and I'll put the filter back in. It works better if you have 2 filters, you can keep switching them. I have this one, but it looks pretty bad because it sat out all winter on the ground, but I've still been using it some. But that's how you can filter rust out of your swimming pool without using any expensive chemicals. Okay, I just want to show you how this works. I now have the filter running, and you can see that the water is running through the sock. and that's how the sock ends up being all rusty within a few hours. But it's a really easy way to filter the water, and I'll try to insert some pictures of the pool before if I can figure out how to do that. But you can see the water now. It's by no means perfect, but we still swim in it even if it's not perfect. And our pool's it's not level at all because the kids were anxious to get the pool put up, and we were gonna level this ground with the tractor, but the tractor battery was dead when we went out to get it. So the kids didn't want to wait on the tractor battery to be charged, and they just started putting up the pool themselves. So now the sides are pretty uneven, which creates a problem because that means the lowest water level, or the lowest point of the pool should be here where the filter is, and it's not. And that's creating some issues because ideally that outtake on the pump should be underwater, but it's not. But it's still very swimmable, and it's a fun swimming pool, and it didn't cost us a whole lot of money. So it's a good summer fun activity to have this pool. I wanted to share another tip before I sign off. If you're filling your pool with your well water, it helps also when you're filling it, if you put a sock over the hose that you're using to fill the pool, you can just put the sock over the end of the hose and then attach that with like a hair elastic. If you do that, it helps to filter the water as it's going into the pool, and that means less water less of that rust has to be filtered out by your pool pump. So that can help. It makes a big difference. We've tried it both ways, and that helps to get some of the rust out ahead of time. These are our baby chicks. You might be a redneck if you have chickens, a chicken coop right beside your pool. They're a mess. This is where the big chickens used to be. But we've moved them down to the garden because they're helping weed the garden now. And here's that filter that's now soaking. That's only been soaking maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I'll come back later and rinse that filter. And that's all we have for today. See you next time on The House That Never Slumbers.